Hello, friends. It's one more turn before you're in roll range. Perfect. You can see that our +9 flail is still doing very good work so far here. But we do have to get into melee range in order to take advantage of that, and it's not always quite so easy. Get barbed right away, so I think I will actually retreat out of that. I'm going to be playing it exceptionally safe here, because that alligator turtle was a bit of a pain in the rear. I think they have huge AC. In fact, or indeed they do. Cannot be affected by our recitation either. That's scary in its own right. Let's try and fight you once more here. At least they're easy to run away from because they have that spacing in their attack. So if we need to run back to the stairs, they won't follow us. So we'll take whatever we can get. And we do find another scroll. What scrolls have we not identified, or which rather? Brand weapon and vulnerability. So maybe this is brand weapon, which isn't super useful for us right now. Could quickly check for a very good, is it evening stars that are the good one? I know it off of the sprite here. Yeah, a nice evening star would be a good choice for brand weapon scroll. Unfortunately, +0, not fantastic. Even with, I guess, with 8 enchantment scrolls, it's not too bad. We'll save it for now, see if there's anything else you can use that for. I just got to remember there's an unidentified scroll on Trolls 4. There we see that we maybe should have vitalized for that fight, as we take a ridiculous amount of poison and come across another javelin here just as we're trying to run away to safety. Oh me, oh my. You could walk this way, please. Excuse me. Merfolk friend, thank you. That's much better, much more manageable. I appreciate it a lot. And we'll take just the Impaler upstairs as well, trying to simplify these once more as much as we possibly can. Demon Tridents are no good for us. Zin does not approve whatsoever, so we'll leave all those behind here. Normally something that we would kind of be on the lookout for is a potential weapon swap. That is fine. Ooh, an Identify scroll. Let's pick up this Identify scroll, wander our way over to this, and we can now confirm once and for all what we were potentially leaving behind. It is brand weapon. Perfect. Definitely makes it easier to pick that up in the future when we search for brand weapon instead of having to remember what the name of an unidentified scroll was. And a Ring of Willpower. Interesting. This could come in handy in the future for swapping out like our cloak for a different artifact cloak or something like that. I think for now we'll leave it. Not something we have to carry with us at all times at the very least. Retreat into our corner to heal up. Don't want to start any fights unnecessarily here. It's always much nicer if we can be as close to full health as we possibly can. Kraken. Cannot follow us across the shallow. So I'm going to chase down to here. Or one more. There we go. Where we're slightly safer. Now we can start dealing damage to the tentacles. Having a nice easy retreat if things go poorly. Because one step down and this Kraken will not be able to see us anymore. I'm slightly concerned about the amount of damage we'll be taking here with all the tentacles. Oh, it lost sight of us because of the ink. Oh my gosh. Sir, please. Please, just fight me. Fight me, you coward. Oh my gosh, this is so much scarier when it's popping in and out of sight like this. Sir? Sir, please? Kraken are something that are much nicer to fight when you're playing on like an AoE based caster or something like that. Most melee builds, I usually have quite a hard time dealing with these buddies. Come on. Come on. It's so close. Keep getting it into the almost dead camp. I'm refusing to put ourselves in too much risk here. This might just be our life now. Let's instead just heal up. Don't even necessarily have to fight this buddy. The only danger of leaving it behind is if we come across it on open seas. It's going to be a much scarier encounter, to say the least. So here's what we'll do. Just exclude that for now and move on. Hello, bye, Susan. I hate running into you here. This early on, this is a very scary fight to come across. I mean, the one nice thing is that we can silence them. And she's too strong to be affected by reciting Zin's laws, unfortunately. She is vulnerable to silver. So we could go for some fancy javelin play. I don't love it. Especially since she hasn't noticed us yet. Might just try and retreat. Never mind, she noticed us. I was gonna try and retreat out of there. Not a fight or an encounter I would like to take part in at the moment. Be a lot nicer if we had some source of like mass summons, because if we're able to silence her, then Susan can't abjure our summons, and so we could try and just crowd in, get her into her Hydra form as soon as possible. But as is, that's real scary. So instead, I want to ring around the rosy, being cautious of the gosh darn Kraken. Oh my gosh. The water nymph also a bit of a pain here because that will block our stairway up, but if we can bring you upstairs, I'll take it. Or that works too. Let's get the heck out of there. Ooh. So, it's not necessarily the end of us in this area here, because we could try to get a bit crafty and kite Susan around as much as possible. Still eventually find our way into the rune here. But it's risky, to say the least. Not exactly the way we'd like to deal with the floor at the very least. Let's maybe pop into a few more of these little caverns if we can find the rune right away. Just get the heck out of here. Oh, you have distortion branded trident. Oof. I don't even want to take one hit from that. Knowing our luck, we're going to get banished instantly. But I guess there's no time like the present. Don't banish me. Don't banish me. Let's go for it. Oof. Okay, managed to take them out before we get distorted to heck. Perfect. Very scary though. Don't love to see it. That's just an enclosed one, or the entrance actually might be this top left area. Let's check it out real quick. No rune there, hey? Guess there's another one up here. Being very careful not to trust auto explore too much, because as mentioned, we don't want to go running back into Susan, at least not when we're unprepared to get away once more. Javelineer is slightly scary. Oh my gosh. More than slightly scary. Holy crap. Hey brain, how's it going? Came just in time to hopefully not see us die. But what do I wish to do here? A heal potion alone doesn't quite cut it. Let's see, because it's the water strike hitting us at the same time, I believe. Regardless, I think I'm happy to use a blinking scroll to get out of sight. Fortunately, you're gonna step up. Immediately have us in your crosshairs once more. Not a whole lot we can do against that though. Fear Scroll is not guaranteed to work either, unfortunately, so that's not great. We should have been reciting the instant we saw these buddies, but it is what it is. And okay, we managed to take no damage from the javelin that does hit us as they step up. Unfortunately, this buddy's fast in water, so they do get the move and attack both on their turn. You hate to see it. But now, with one more blink, we're in a slightly safer position. Especially if we pair it with fog to... oh geez. Make it a bit harder for them to see behind. Let's fog once more. Jeez Louise. Just barely make it out of there in one piece. A couple of death turns there where we very much could have ended it all. But fortunately, not quite yet. Now, I'd like to face you two. Slightly more manageable position. Unfortunately, when the water nymph steps up to the stairs, we lose it as an escape option, which is scary. We could Wand of Flame to get some steam clouds into effect. Could also start reciting Zin's laws here and hope for some good effects, but geez Louise. No safe options. It is crazy how hard javelins hit. Indeed, yeah, so scary each and every time here. And unfortunately, shielding and specifically reflection doesn't do anything to them, so kind of left in the lurch in that regard, and we can't use one of our favored methods of dealing with ranged combatants in that situation, which is part of what makes it so scary. We could risk it, though. We could go for like a potion of might here. For some extra defensive capabilities, or just trying to deal as much damage as we possibly can as quickly as possible. Might be able to take them both out. Can do that, start reciting, roll on in. Unfortunately, I don't want you in the deep water, but I'm scared to pull you out. Come at me, please. Oh my gosh. And now I look like a fool for doing so. Just gonna have to kill you in the deep water. Rip javelins, I guess. Because the flip side of them hitting so hard on us, of course, is the fact that when we use javelins, it also absolutely slaps. But it is what it is, and we at least have been saving up a decent stash throughout the course of Shoals here in the mid-20s on both javelin types. Hello, bye Susan. I don't like that you're now in this part of the level. This isn't where you're supposed to hang out. Well, again, go for a little bit of a ring around the rosy. Because I do want to just take a peek in here. Make sure the rune isn't lying around. It is not. Ah, there's another one up here. That solves that mystery. Just have to keep in mind that retreating from this is going to be a bit sketchy. We use Vitalize even though we're running a bit low on PD at this stage in the game. And that Water Strike hurts real bad, hey? Let's heal up. Jeez. Again, Water Strike. Hurting way more than I thought it would. Okay. Now, I should probably just try and get out of here. We're so close to killing you. No, that's crazy talk, right? I'm just gonna killing myself and then being very ashamed. It of course hurts to leave any fight. You're this close to killing the scary enemy. This is Water Strikes. It's weird. They normally don't hurt me too bad. Because maybe I'm not usually standing in water. In that case, let's just take some steps. There we go. Cyclops is still potentially scary here, but at the very least with our reflection brand, we're able to avoid a decent amount of trouble from that department. And there we go, we managed to heal up. Please tell me there's a rune in here. Nope, not yet, hey? Still have to clear a few more of these bad boys. In that case, gonna retreat down the long way here, heading all the way around, just to avoid running into by season if possible. Oh crap, I wasn't talking about you. Okay, we might get barbed, but I'm going to just run for the stairs. Perfect. Dang it. Why did Bi-Season have to move here? Because I would think that this section of the level is where the next thing is. Oh, I guess we left one behind here. Never mind. I am a fool. Let us head to this stairwell here. Using the bracket keys to get sneak peeks, of course, as much as possible. Trident of Protection, that should be fine. Start reciting. And try and take you out as quickly as possible. Even leave and heal up real quick mid-fight, taking advantage of the polearm users there. Also brings Recite back off cooldown. Only issue with this is I don't like that Susan is probably on her way after the amount of noise that we make. And just knowing our luck in general. She's chasing us to the ends of the gosh darn earth. We'll head up, hopefully explore the last little cove here without too much trouble. Or at least near a stairwell if things do go poorly. Ooh, an ice kraken. Very cool. Fortunately, I'm not seeing a rune. Oh, never mind. It's just under that robe there. That's why we always have to check under all the items. And a +1 helmet, I guess, is equal to what we're currently wearing. So let's do a quick fashion check. Ooh. Do I like that more? Same color at least, but no, I think there's something to having a nice wizard's cap, even though we don't cast any spells. It's dashing, you know, we really pull it off. But let's get the heck out of here. No need to faff about. We've gotten our second rune. It only took 2 blinking scrolls and shaved probably a few years off my lifespan. That's not too bad. You could trade. But with that, we are done with our S branches. Susan, more like bye, Susan. Indeed. I'm very liable, though, to forget that we left her down there. I'll head for that brand weapon scroll and have to face her in a horrifying situation in the future, but hey, it will be what it will be, and we'll have to see. And so, where do we wish to go from here? I might head back out to Lair, finish our last floor there, see if there are any treasures lying around that might help us make a bit more of an informed decision in the future here. Let's check it out. Nope, don't accidentally go into a portal thingy. And what a start. A Rogue and an 8-headed Hydra, eh? Well, I'll start reciting. Head right for the Hydra here. Not too bad. A Rogue being another Javelin user. Definitely have to hate, but we'll close the gap. At least she's not quite as likely to keep flinging javelins in close range, and much better. Let's see what else we find down here. At least Hydras shouldn't be too much trouble. With a cold branded weapon and half-decent armor class, we're doing okay in that department. As I just tab fight my way through most of the encounters here, at least ideally. So far, no clues as to which final section we're at yet. I guess, oh, it's like the flooded Lair 6. Shouldn't be too bad. Ah, there's also a Cataplex Cave. Interesting. Let us vitalize so we don't get poisoned by the cane toads and the snake. And just have our way through the rest of this nonsense. Not too shabby. Tempted to go fight the Cataplex while we're in a situation that's a bit more under our control here. So I think that's what we'll do after we finish this yak herd. I guess, and the cane toad that comes along too. Let's do it. Hello, my bullish friend. Close the gap as quickly as possible. Take you out, no problem. Well, I guess, are there more than one of you in here? Hello? Hello? Hopefully not. I guess not, because it was just that little cave section. Man, it feels good against normal yaks. Also, way to make me look like an idiot immediately, game. Thank you. There are more Cataplex, of course, like we totally guessed correctly. Oh gosh, this isn't great. Well, we might get petrified here. We do have a fear scroll that we could use. Alternatively, we're not necessarily dead off of petrification, just in a bit of a sketchy spot. And the worst part about it is that we no longer have any control over the situation, so we're just going to have to take hands off and watch what happens, which never feels great. It's nice to have agency, and that's what this game usually does so well with, is providing character agency. I guess a fear scroll doesn't necessarily do the trick for us, though. In that case, let's maybe try and take out the Death Yak. It's starting to slow down here, but if we're able to kill them, we're at least taking less damage than we otherwise would. And fortunately, some of the yaks themselves are being turned to stone. Perfect. Get me out of there. Not too bad. And this should be slightly more manageable as we just take on the Catopal. No problem. Okie dokie, managed to make it out of that one. Just a yak, Michael. How much damage could it do? 10 hit points? Those are definitely words uttered right moments before disaster. That's exactly, though, how I felt about the old yak tiles. New yak tiles, though, hit a bit different. Oh, let's not fight a Cataplex in a one-wide corridor. That's just asking for trouble. There we go. This is much more like it. And Wand of Charming. I'm good, thank you. Not too bad. Ooh, and a Lightning Rod. We definitely want as many of these rechargeable evocables as we possibly can. In fact, speaking of, throwing is just about at 10. Shields is on its way up as well. These last two levels are going to be quite slow with the -2 aptitude. It's going to be a bit painful. Let's maybe focus throwing, and I'm going to bring evocations back into the bag here now that we're starting to fill out our supplies a bit more in that regard. All that I want next, of course, is a Condenser Vein, my favorite evocable in the game. And I'm sure it will come eventually, I can feel it. Sooner rather than later, though, RNG gods, if you're listening. Let's keep her going. Too bad. 39 AC is definitely a half decent encounter against any Hydra. And just the fact that they hit often, but not too hard, is a godsend for a decently high AC character. And we mark ourselves just as we explore the final squares of the level, so no harm, no foul there. And perfect. Not too bad. Fortunately, nothing too life-changing either, but we'll take whatever we can get. And the question becomes, where do we want to go now? We could try clearing through a little bit of Elf. Everyone will be vulnerable to getting recited upon, which is pretty solid. Probably don't want to go for a third rune yet. We could just head to Depths as well. A half decent spot. I mean, at least we have alright resistances across the board. Good willpower. think I've convinced myself. Let's at least take a peek into our depths, see how it's looking, see how we're feeling, and then we can make any runtime decisions from there. Down we go. To the depths of the dungeon. Finally, ideally getting some more gold. Also, hate that torment effect. Very much so. Jeez Louise. In fact, that's just pain that did that, or do you... Or agony. Cuts the health of the current target in half. 2% chance for that to work. And of course it did. Would expect nothing else from you, DCSS. Immediately put me into panic mode, but we'll use the stairs here to separate the necromancer from their spawns. And the fortunate part about all these buddies is they do not regenerate and they cannot follow us upstairs. So we can always just run away if need be. I guess I should thank the necromancer. It was kind of a free wake-up call in some ways. Let's run away from the dragon there. I think we just had one, maybe two ice dragons to start out, but the Rakshasa was cloning them and multiplying it. Not great. Honestly, still not great. Let's do a quick find on RC Plus to see what kind of cold resistance we have at our disposal. +1 chainmail, cold resistance is okay. Also left our ring of protection from cold lying around. I guess we could go grab that real quick. Why the heck not? Let's play it safe here. Currently the ring of flight isn't really doing much for us. So in fact, I might even toss that down. Will I regret that in the future? Maybe. Let's instead drop the enchant arm scrolls just in case we need flight at some point. There isn't much besides like some time portals that maybe I'd care about not having that ring on us, because we could always run up here and grab it manually, of course. But better safe than sorry. Let us bring these friends upstairs, shall we? Try and reduce the overall number of enemies we have to encounter at any one time. Thankfully, these stairs are semi-blocked off, so that simplifies life just a wee bit. We're able to simplify all of our problems here. Perfect. Now let's go fight that Rakshasa when they're not able to clone all of the enemies around, shall we? Except themselves, I guess, but that's fine. That's to be expected. Perfect. Ooh, stroll blinking as well. I'd love to see it. And we at least have one pip of fire resistance. We do indeed. So let's start fighting. A little bit of a taste of depths here. Definitely scary. Don't get me wrong. Don't love it. Let's see. It's probably like a 2%, 1% chance at banishment. So I don't feel too horrible fighting you. Even though, hey, we had a +2 recently, or 2% recently succeed against us. So maybe take everything with a grain of salt here. This +5 battle axe could hurt, but... Oh, never mind. It was the other critter that had the +5 enchanted weapon. Well, not too bad then. I guess what I should be doing is reciting against these buddies, because they are beings of chaos. Zin definitely hates that. There, we've replenished our blink scroll capacity here. Love to see it. Can hopefully use those to get out of any horrifying situations in our near future. Let's lead all of you a little bit back here. I'd like to be able to find a nice corridor where we can take you all on, one by one. Perfect. We can even start reciting to amp ourselves up just a wee bit. Perfect. Don't run from me. Love to see it. Thank you so much, MoCrackis70, for the follow. I appreciate it a whole lot, and welcome. Hope you enjoy watching here. And let's see. Up to 19. So far, Depths 1, besides the early scare, the initial fright, we're not doing too poorly here. I definitely don't mind continuing down this route for the near future, trying to round out our build just a wee bit before the end. Ooh, and 2 armor shops. Let's hope for something half decent here. Nothing great there. Plus 0 plate armor of willpower. Not horrible, but definitely not what we especially need right now. Pearl dragon scales. So expensive. But it's always fun wearing these, because it's very rare to find them in a game. No way guaranteed. And we could enchant it up and get some free RN, but maybe we won't worry about it too much. Just found my YouTube channel and been binge watching my videos on this game. Never heard of the game before, but it seems really cool. Well, yeah, glad you happened to stumble upon the videos, especially not having heard of the game. I definitely do think this game is super cool, very neat. Definitely my favorite of the kind of dungeon crawler, hardcore like roguelikes in the most literal traditional sense. There's something super satisfying about the mechanics of the game that I've just kept coming back to over the years. So glad you found the channel, glad you found the game for sure, because I always love hearing about new players joining and learning about this fantastic game that, as I mentioned, has just kept me coming back over the years. So love to hear it, love to see you around, and thank you so much for coming over rather to our Twitch channel as well. I appreciate it. Best of luck with learning the game. That's always a very satisfying, fun part of any kind of roguelike, is that initial learning phase where there's just so much information to digest and you get to go through so many stages of grief followed by pure satisfaction as you finally crack your way past a certain stage in the game. Oh, geez. That's scary. Juggernaut. Especially Juggernauts in conjunction with Blade Ghosts. Not great. And unexplored upstairs. Ooh, you're right. So who knows where that leads? We'll have to check that out for sure. Of course, we will have to survive this first. But I can just take one of you upstairs. That is much more ideal. Let's just take you on your lonesome here, and we can potentially head back to our initial downstairs here. And nobody's made it quite up this way yet, so let's explore up here and see. Oh, it's a little bit of a treasure trove. All saves, nothing super useful for us, but I love the thematic nature of it. Always find it really cute to find the stuff like that in this game. Hello friends, start reciting, hopefully simplify our problems a bit, especially, geez Louise, so we start getting snuck up on from behind. Let's stop running before I accidentally get myself killed. These lightning bolts are hitting for just under 30 damage at max. So we should be able to take a couple steps here. We can still take a step. Could technically kill us, but no way, right? And okie dokie, we're in a bit of a tough pickle. Went up a stairwell that is a bit of a one-way situation. I mean, at the end of the day, if we don't want to head back down here, which if we take a peek, we might not, we at least have wands of digging and teleport scrolls, so we can actually make our way out of here safely. Let's take one more look at that. Yeah, I'd much rather be fighting all of y'all in a hallway. I guess if we can survive a trip down and bring them up, then we fight them one-on-one in this little room. Well, it's bad how much my brain wants me to do this. Let's try it once, see how it goes. Able to just reduce these down. I mean, the lightning is scary because it is reflecting off that back wall and hitting us multiple times, but able to take them out. And these buddies want to keep running up to us one by one. I don't mind whatsoever. We will gladly take them up on that offer. Hello friend, hello friend. Jeez Louise. Still scary. Still scary. Oh jeez. But let's try and take on these two on their own, especially that flayed ghost is only really dangerous in conjunction with other enemies. Love to see it. That two-headed ogre that we left behind, I believe is a polymorpher, because they don't have any weapons. Indeed, it was a shapeshifter, sorry, is the proper nomenclature. Not too bad, though. Able to simplify this encounter algebra a little bit here. Jeez. Less so now, though. Let's start walking away. And perfect. Glad the Juggernaut isn't right next to us. Oh my, oh my. Kinda hate to see it. Let's just take you upstairs, though. And we should be okay. Dang it, maybe you should have been reciting this whole time. I'll drink 1 heal wounds, just so we're not too close to one-shot range, even though we're still closer than I'd like. Let's go for it. Let's even do a Lig potion. Oh, never mind. Let's not. Forgot that our god hates that. That would have been bad. Let's instead... we're not zealous enough. Buddy's too strong to be affected by that. Well, in that case, gonna start teleporting. Jeez Louise. I don't know. We'll have time to teleport. Well, mistakes were definitely made, to say the least. 43% chance to hit us. Can see invisible. Attacks extremely slowly, so we do have like a turn here, free turn, for sure. I think we could get out of this. I'm gonna dig, and I'm gonna use a blink scroll. Even if it's not strictly necessary, I need to get myself out of there. It would be just my luck if my teleport scroll brought me right back next to the Juggernaut, right? We did, of course, also have Sanctuary, which probably would have been the safer way to go about that. So, for all of you who find yourselves in my shoes in the future, Sanctuary, much better play there. I mean, because we just took a hit from the Juggernaut, we did know that we had that tiny bit of leeway, but still probably would have been a slightly safer bet. I mean, I guess we could use that if our teleport takes us somewhere bad, which it didn't. Perfect. Let's just get off that floor completely and rethink everything in life, shall we? Oh, nothing like a good near-death experience to really kick you into overdrive, wake yourself up in the morning. Jeez. Well, I still want to kill you because I don't want to leave a Juggernaut wandering around. We just have to be slightly more careful in how we handle this. For one thing, you're not resistant to poison, so I'm going to switch over to Curari Darts. Try and keep you slightly slowed. Did not do quite as much work as I was hoping. On top of that, though, we can use a Wand of Acid to reduce their AC. And then 120 damage. Let's go for a couple turns here. By a couple, I mean a few, of course, but definitely looking better so far. There we go. Able to take out that Juggernaut. Jeez Louise. Oh, hate to see a run almost go out that way. But not too bad. We're through in one piece. And then still almost died to a Frost Giant. Everything in the late game here is going to be scary as all get up. Definitely need to be slightly stronger at ourselves and at reciting before we can more comfortably deal with all this crap. Let's not risk anything. We'll head upstairs. So yeah, recite, unfortunately, doesn't work against a monster with that many hit dice for us. We're still slightly too weak, because I thought the same thing there, Eggly. But unfortunately, not quite in the cards for us yet. And luckily the game tells me that that's the case, otherwise I might have just been emptily reciting words into the nothingness over and over again to no avail. Amulet of Guardian Spirit, eh? Would be nice to have essentially 31 more hit points. Splitting the damage between our mana pool and our health pool is pretty solid on most melee characters. The only downside, of course, is that we lose our ability to use God-given abilities when we're in the danger zone itself. Oh, my Spriggan friend. I think I'm still comfortable taking this, less so now. Crazy how quickly the tides turn here. Oh my gosh. Let's take a few steps though. Get the heck back. Fortunately, most of these enemies aren't especially quick. This Spark Wasp, of course, being an exception to that. But let's take it upstairs and we should be okay. Should have known we weren't through with that treasure vault yet. Would Minotaur Berserker be a good character? Definitely one of the better like beginner characters for learning the game. You have a lot of good panic buttons. Minotaurs in general are just super strong for coming with the melee build. I mean, if you want to deep dive straight into spellcasters, I know that I personally have a bit more of a personal affinity with that, but in general, I'd definitely recommend for your first few runs, yeah, going with like a Minotaur Berserker kind of style, or a Minotaur Fighter, and you can also go with someone like Okawaru, or who else do I really like? Especially for beginners is what I'm trying to narrow down. I really like Gozeg in general, but yeah, as people are saying here, very strong combo, and Berserker Minotaurs was also Egley's first win. So yeah, definitely does a decent amount of work and is a great start for when you're just learning the basics of the game. But I'm excited to hear as you start up here, Mo, how your run's going, how you like the game in the learning stages. Unarmed Troll Berserker too, nice, yeah, Cassiopeia, that's a great point. Unarmed is exceptionally strong, especially on trolls who start with really good claws. So I would highly recommend following that for sure. Can I recite against you? I can. And hey, Ninth Settler, sorry, in the middle of a conversation when you showed up, but always nice to see you around. Hope your day has been going well, and same with your dungeon crawl runs recently. Hope you've had some good fortune. We're definitely struggling a little bit now in this phase of the run. After being pretty solid for the start of today, things are starting to get a little bit dicey, as can be expected. I guess the one issue with trolls in general, but also some characters like Palentongas, is the lack of defensive capability in the mid game here, and that's why that Minotaur Berserker Mo is so strong, because they do just have great, just all across the board, defensive and offensive abilities. You just got an unusual Shoals 4 so square. Is it like the stone wall one with the corridor around the outside in the center, or the like 4 entrance points, big center? Because if it is, then I've been unlucky enough to get that one a few times recently, and it is scary, to say the least. Vampire Mage sees me, but the Titan does not. Let's try and split these two up. Indeed, we are able to. Perfect. Love to see it. Come on, my Titan friend. Kirari dart you, and then we'll switch over to just boomerangs, and we'll see how that goes. We're throwing boomerangs at 0.7 speed, so that's not too bad here.